All right, to our lovely audiences, welcome again our Monday Live session for this week. As you know, we bring one universities in every Monday to learn that university, to know the university details, and also the course you wanted to apply, the PG, UG, PhD, MDes, and so many courses. So this week we also invited one university. The previous name was the Wrexham University, and they rebranded it in 2023, the Wrexham University. So this university is one of the UK's most student-centric university, as we learned from their website, and they are very historic and also student-focused, the inclusive institutions. They are very vibrant campus in Wrexham, the city. Their history, culture, and so many opportunities. We'll learn so many things from the university reps. So without any further ado, let's welcome our today's guest, Mr. Dan Griffith. He is the International Marketing and Recruitment Manager at Wrexham University. Hi, Dan. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. So our audiences from different social media, they can join our session from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, also through our website, LinkedIn. So you can ask any question if you have any question to ask to our guest, and also regarding the Wrexham University, anything regarding studying in the UK, the tuition fees, the session, your any interest of point of interest from the UK and UK institution, you can ask. So we'll go for one presentation, and then after presentation, we'll go for a question and answer session.
Fantastic. I will quickly just share my screen and we'll get going on there. So there we go. It should be popping up now, and hopefully everybody will be able to see that. So as mentioned before, my name's Dan. I'm the International Marketing and Recruitment Manager here at Wrexham University. I've been here now for just over a year, so about a year and a half. And I'm going to give you some information about our fantastic university and why it could be the perfect place for you this September. And thank you to Shabuj, for allowing us to do this, but also working so closely with us on our recruitment efforts. We really appreciate it. So a little bit of history about the institution. So we are a new university, but we have roots in old institutions. So the very first iteration of our institution was in 1887, and we still have that building as part of our campus today. That's the Regent Street building, and it's just 5 minutes down the road from our campus. We then, as I say, we progressed, and the campus got bigger, and we landed on the campus where we are today, which is our main Plascoch campus, in the centre of Wrexham, very close to the town centre. In 2008, we officially gained university status, and we became Glyndŵr University. And then in 2023, as you said, we rebranded to Wrexham University. Moving forward into the future, we have lots of plans for our campus. We have £80 million worth of investment coming into our campus, and that's already starting to take shape. So you can see some of the buildings on our presentation that show some of the new buildings that are being developed as we speak. So why Wrexham? There's lots of universities in the UK. What makes Wrexham one of the most unique universities in the UK, and why should you study with us? First off, affordable tuition fees. We have really good tuition fees at Wrexham University. For our undergraduate courses, you're looking at £11,750, but international students get a £2,000 scholarship off of that. So that takes it down to £9,750 per year for you to study an undergraduate course. At postgraduate level, it's £12,500 or £13,000. So £12,500 for our taught courses, so like our MAs and our MSc. And then for our MBA, it's £13,000. But again, there's great scholarships off that, and depending on your qualifications and things like that, you can get those qualifications near to £10,000 again. Student satisfaction, we always rank very highly for student satisfaction. We're always in the top 10 in the UK, depending on what rankings you look at. We can be higher than that. So in 2024, we were in the top 10. It's just been redone this year for a number of different ranking systems. And for student satisfaction, we were kind of in the top 5 for those. So really exciting. got a great range of courses. We have 2 faculties at the university, and they encompass courses from engineering, computing, business, sports, cybersecurity. We've got art courses, so art and design. We've got media courses. We've got games design courses. So as you can see, we've got a really good spread of courses across the university. Our location, so I'll talk about it a little bit later on, our location, but we're in the heart of the UK. You can get to every city really very easily. We have flexible start dates throughout the year, so we've got a number of different intakes across the year. There's 3 main intakes, which is September, January, and June. But we also have a number of different intakes around that. So we have roughly about 5-6 intakes depending on the year throughout the year. At Wrexham University, you are a name, you're not a number. We have smaller class sizes, but it means that our lecturers and our program leaders and our professional services staff get to know you by name. We can give you that one-to-one support if you need it. So we have a lot of support functions at the university. And employability. We're close to one of the biggest industrial estates in the UK. We are close to one of the biggest banking industrial estates in the UK. We have aeronautical engineering companies, so Airbus, who make the planes. One of their biggest European factories is just down the road in Broughton. So we've got some great industries just nearby that you can get employability in. So as I said, location-wise, we're in the heart of the UK. We're in North East Wales, so we are in Wales, but we're very close to the England border. You can get on a train, you can get on buses, but you can get to London in 2.5 hours on the train. You can be in Manchester in 1.5 hours. You can be in Liverpool in about 1 hour. So as you say, if you are looking to visit the UK, study somewhere that's maybe not as busy, not as loud, but you want to visit those key UK cities, then Wrexham is the perfect destination for you. One of the other great things about where we're located is we're very close to some of the stunning scenery in Wales. So we're very close to Snowdonia National Park. We're relatively close to the nearest beach, so North Wales beaches. As I say, there is literally something for everybody for our location. So as I mentioned before, some of the things we're nearby, but you can see here in more detail. So this is, some of the things in the city and just around the city. For those of you who are watching, who are soccer fans, football fans, we are located right next door to our football club in the city. So our football club is Wrexham AFC, and about 6 years ago, they were taken over by Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. So they're regularly in Wrexham on a weekend watching our football games. They bring over their celebrity friends with them. So it's very exciting to be in Wrexham at this moment in time. We have a lot of great things in the city centre. We have, a lot of restaurants, a lot of food, hospitality industries. So if you're looking for work experience, but not maybe in those kind of banking sector or industrial estate sector, we have a lot of hospitality options as well. Our campus is quite close-knit. It's quite small. It allows you to be able to access everything that you need. So we have sports centres, we have library buildings, we have accommodation on campus. So I'll touch on accommodation in a little bit, but we have affordable accommodation very close to classes. We've just opened a new cyber innovation academy. So if you're looking at cybersecurity, we have now what's called a cybersecurity breakout room. So this allows our cybersecurity students to program in cybersecurity algorithms, and other students can try and hack their way out of it. So we're very much about using different types of teaching methodology to get our point across with our academics. We don't just want students to sit in a class and be read a book to them as such. So we have a lot of different functions on campus which help with that. We do have some other campuses, but international students will mainly study at our main Wrexham campus, but we do have St Asaph, we have Colliers Park, got Regent Street, and we've got Norfolk as well. So I was talking before about our student satisfaction ratios and things like this. You can see we're first in Wales and fifth in the UK for student support on there. We're first in England and Wales for teaching excellence in the Daily Mail University rankings. We're first in England and in Wales for social inclusion. So we have some really high-ranking rankings there that are really, that we're really proud of. The breakdown of the universities, there's about 9,000 students, about 1,800 of them being international. So yeah, we have a lot of diversity on campus, which is really exciting. We have a lot of different academic departments, but we also have a good ratio of staff to students. You can see there we have 200 staff in the university that can help you while studying with us. Some of our other support that we can offer is, pre-application, as we put there, finding the right agent. We work very closely with Shabuj. They're a great agency for you to apply through and for them to guide you through our application process. So we are very thankful for that. And they'll also be able to help you, with our entry criteria at the university, what courses might suit you, scholarship availability and things like that. But when you get here as well, we also have some great mental health and disability support advice centres. We have financial advice. We've got careers and employability, which I know is a very hot topic at this moment in time. We know that students also want to look ahead and want to know how they can, after their studies, what they can do. So our careers centre is great for advising students of that. We've got a lot of student societies. We've got a students' union here. And we can also help you with your English language support as well. So touching on some of those courses. So across the undergraduate spectrum, as I say, we have computing, business, engineering are kind of our big ones, but we've got media, arts and design, sports. We have some psychology courses here. We also have law courses. So we have an LLB for you students that are looking more at the legal environment, shall we say. We also have built environment, which touches on architectural design technologies and things like that. So there's something for everybody. And if you're looking for a course, you can't see it, reach out, because we can probably figure out a course that's relatively close-knit for you as well. And then at postgraduate level, we really have three main functions. That's business, computing, and engineering. We do have some media courses and some art and designs, but really the vast majority of our courses fall under those three subheadings. We've also this year launched our International Foundation year as well. So we've got a standalone 1-year International Foundation, and we have a 4-year integrated foundation as well. And that's for students whose academics and English language maybe isn't quite ready for them to study an undergraduate course. But it's a fantastic course. It's really exciting. It's new this year. So if you want more information on that, as I say, speak to Shabuj, but also check out our social media. We have some great videos that explain that process and that course. On the flip side, at postgraduate level, we also have those pre-masters courses that will help you gain entry into postgraduate courses, our master's courses at the university. We also have a really interesting module called the Advanced Practice module. This gives students the opportunity to go out into industry and get work experience whilst at the university. Once you leave university, a lot of students struggle to find work straight away. They maybe don't have a reference, maybe don't have that level of experience on their CV. So what this can do is this can give you something to put on your CV, but also whoever you've worked for would be able to provide a reference as well. So it's really valuable for students when they come that they get to do that course with us. From an entry criteria standpoint, I'm going to skip past this, but globally, our entry criteria for undergraduate courses is the equivalent to UK A-levels. For postgraduate courses, the equivalent of a degree at 2-2 level or above. Now, that's not the same everywhere. We do accept in certain circumstances third-class degrees, especially maybe more for business courses and not as technical. What I would say, though, if you are a student that has a profile of a third-class degree, please reach out to ourselves or reach out to the team at Shabuj, who'd be able to advise you a little bit more on that and just make sure that it fits the profile of student that we're looking for. So our application system is really straightforward. We use an application system called eVision. This is a system where you can create your own login, go in, set up, get your personal details added. You provide all of your academic documents to your application form, and submit that application. What happens then is our application team will have a look at it. They will assess it and get back to you with either an outcome, or they might need some more information on that. So we can help you there. Then moving forward with the CAS process, we also are now working with CAS-Shield, which is a specialized system to help you kind of go through that CAS process as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen just because that's kind of the end of the presentation from that point of view. I did want to mention quickly our accommodation prices, because I know I touched on that earlier. So for accommodation, we are looking at £130 per week for our accommodation at Wrexham University. It's on campus and it looks over into the football stadium. So if you're a football fan, it is perfect for you. Great. So if anybody has any questions, just, feel free to reach out and I can answer those.
Yeah, thank you for the wonderful presentation. I myself learned so many things regarding the Wrexham University, especially the industry connections with the Airbus and BBC and so many other Toyota, Tata, so many other connections with the industry links, and also the history of the Wrexham University and the city itself. So we have got few questions in our WhatsApp.
Great.
I'm going to ask one by one. One of our students asking, you said the 100% scholarship can be possible. What is the way to get those 100% scholarship? He maybe noticed in one of your slide, 100% scholarship.
No, so we don't have 100% scholarship. It's not on there. What we do have is there is a nursing course that has a contribution to the fees, but it's highly competitive. There's only 16 places across the whole year, and that's actually funded by Health in Wales. So it's not funded by the university. It's not a university scholarship as such. From a scholarship standpoint, we do offer a number of different scholarships and competitive scholarships. But depending on your profile and things like that, I think the most that you can get is about £3,000.
Yeah. Another question is about the accommodation. You said the £130 per week. So is it the first come first serve basis, or anyone can join anytime? The accommodation is available for all.
So obviously it very much will depend if there's space in the accommodation. We try and obviously give international students space if we can get them in there. We are limited with the rooms we have on campus, but there is a lot of partner accommodation. So we have partner accommodation in the centre of Wrexham. There's other accommodation just a little bit further afield near Chester that we're only about 10 minutes away from. So there is a lot of accommodation, but for our specific accommodation on campus, it is quite competitive.
Okay, so students need to contact with the Wrexham for the partner accommodation, or they will contact?
No, they would go directly through. We can give advice, obviously, if they want some advice on where to go and who to speak to. But yes, the actual application process would be directly through the other accommodation teams.
Okay, thank you. This student question: how many years of OIX certificate is accepted?
So for English language proficiency, I'm assuming we're talking about here, that we don't have a limitation. It used to be 10 years, but we've recently changed that. So we don't have a limitation on it at this moment in time.
Okay, so you can apply without any hesitation, and also you can contact with us.
Yeah.
What is the actual payment plan of the undergrad student? He's asking about the payment plan of the undergrad student.
So this will differ depending on where you're from, and that's mainly just because of how the UKVI kind of work. So if you're from South Asia at this moment in time, it's kind of split up. Some will be 100%, some will be a 75% deposit. If you're from the rest of the world, then it'll be a 50% deposit. Now, depending on which deposit structure you fall into, if it's the 50% deposit, you have 6 months after the course start date to pay. If it's the 75%, then you have to pay upon enrollment at the university. And obviously, if it's 100%, then you have to pay before the CAS is issued.
Okay, and for the second and rest of the years, they need to pay the first of the starting of the year?
Yeah, at the start of the year, if you're on 100%, yeah, correct.
Okay, thank you. And do you require IELTS for nursing courses?
For nursing, yes, we would require IELTS. For everything else, we can ask for other tests and things like this, but it's a national kind of nursing council requirement that they have to have an IELTS certificate for entry onto that course.
Yeah. And the question is, does the university accept HND for the direct masters from Nigeria?
We do, yes. So we are accepting HND with 2 years work experience at this moment in time.
Okay. And the question is also from the Nigeria. But do you have any DVA courses in your institution?
Sorry, which type of course?
DVA course, DBA, Doctor of Business Administration.
No. So at this moment in time, we don't have anything above master's level. So the university doesn't currently offer research degrees or doctor's degrees or anything like that. It's something that we hope in the future we can change in the next year or so, but at the moment we don't, I'm afraid.
Okay. So another student is asking from YouTube, how many types of scholarship do you have and what are they like?
So again,
it's just the one scholarship you said, the 3,000?
No,
Yeah.
so it differs across the world, really. So at undergraduate level, everybody gets a £2,000 automatic scholarship that's locked in. At postgraduate level, it'll depend where you're from. So those areas that have that higher deposit level, that have to bring money up front, they get a higher structure. So that's depending on an IELTS exam. So if you've got a really good IELTS score, we can offer as much as 3,000. And it goes up in tiers on your IELTS score, but you automatically will get a £2,000 scholarship at postgraduate level if you're from one of those areas that has 100% deposit. Now, if you're from somewhere that's on the 50% deposit, then you have the potential of 2,000. So the first 1,000 is automatic, and the second is based off your qualifications. So it's a merit scholarship as such.
Thank you. Another question is, do you have any MRes courses for study? Does Wrexham offer any MRes courses?
As I say, at this time, we don't have any research, unfortunately.
Okay. And is asking, if I completed my 2-year bachelor from Bangladesh in LLB, then I can switch to the... Okay, so he want to credit transfer in 3rd year for LLB. Is it possible, or he want to start from the 1st year?
So it will all depend on what modules have been taken in that original qualification. So what happens is, when you make your application, make sure to send in your transcripts, your certificates, everything that you have from your first institution. What will happen then is our team will reach out to the program leader at Wrexham. They will have a look, and they'll do something that's called a mapping process. So they'll have a look at your original modules and the modules that are in our course, and they'll see if any of them line up, and if they work, that's great. We can then exempt you from a certain amount of credits. If they don't and the content doesn't quite fit, then we won't be able to exempt you from those credits. So it's very much a case-by-case basis, but it is possible, yes.
But is there any score dependency, like he or she need to score at least this certain amount of CGPA of specific course?
So we would be looking GPA-wise at, what our baseline GPA is for entry. So you'd have to get that across the first couple of years. But yeah, you don't need to get a really high score as such, and it'll be very much down to the program leader. So the program leader might have a look at it and say, actually, yeah, we can accept it. We're happy with that. But yeah, it's very much a case-by-case basis.
Thank you. Can a student access sports, arts, and research facilities, as you mentioned?
So sports, arts, and research facilities, did you say? Sorry.
The student is asking, is access is for all? All the students can get access for any facilities for international student, or it is depend on the department to department?
I see what you're saying. Yes, so all of our facilities, like our sports facilities and our art facilities and things like that, are available for students to use regardless of what subject area you're studying. Now, I know for kind of like the media and things like that, you'd have to go through a process with that department. They'd have to speak to you, make sure that they are happy that you are competent to use that equipment. But if they are happy with that, yes, you can get put onto their kind of system so you can hire things out. That's not a problem.
Thank you. The Wrexham city is very new for me. I have no idea the job and other facilities in the Wrexham. If I completed my graduation and I want to start my career here, what will be the international student facilities? So he is asking the job facilities over here for international students.
Yep. So we have a really good level of employability after graduation in Wrexham in general. It's kind of, nearing the 90%. Now, obviously, as an international student, you get your 2 years graduate route visa afterwards, and it's very much down to a company to kind of keep sponsoring you after that graduate route. But as I say, it's one of the biggest business parks, industrial estates, in Europe, just down the road. It's one of the biggest business parks in Europe, just down the road. We've got Airbus, which is a big factory that produces aeroplane wings. We've got multinational companies such as Kellogg's, JCB, who produce kind of digging equipment and things like that. So we have a lot of good industry in Wrexham. But then on top of this, we've got a lot of hospitality around the area, restaurants, hotels, drinking establishments. We have a lot of different things that you could potentially work in.
Yeah. Another question is also the same thing. Like he's asking, are there any internship or placement opportunities integrated into the courses along with the alumni bodies or something like alumni associations?
So at postgraduate level, we have that three-month module, which is the advanced placement module, which we will place you in industry. And you don't need to find your own placement. We'll place you in industry. We've got a lot of good links with the companies nearby. At undergraduate level, it's very much course by course. Now, 90% of the courses don't have that kind of year placement or anything like that at this moment in time, but it is something that the university is looking towards.
Thank you. This is also the same type of questions. I'm not taking this. I have heard about the 80 million is invested for Campus 2025 plan. What exciting upgrades can students expect?
Really good question. So it's already started on campus. So we've just recently opened our EEOC building. So that's our engineering and optics center. So that's going to be a leading research center for our engineering students, some computing students in there. We've also opened a new cyber innovation academy for cyber security students and computer science students. We're then working on what's called the Gateway building is going to be the next phase, and that's going to change the whole kind of, not necessarily some of the teaching areas. There will be teaching areas in there, but it's very much that kind of front-end reception area of the university. There's also work going on a building at the moment, which is going to be called the Health Innovation Quarter. So as you can see, there is a lot going on. There's a lot of new facilities. We already had some great facilities at the university, and this is just going to bring those even more up to another level.
Yeah, the 80 million is quite a lot of amount for investing for the university. Yeah, and a student definitely end of the day they will get benefited from those investment.
Yeah,
definitely. Thank you for asking this question, and thank you for the answer as well. What kind of student life and extracurricular activities can students get involved in for undergrad student?
Great question. Yeah, so depending on what your interests are, there's a lot of different things. So we have sports teams at the university. So through our student union, we have football, basketball, badminton. We have a lot of different kind of sports teams that you can get involved in. And if we don't have that team, you can go to the Students' Union if you have enough players and you can create that team. So there's a lot of options for you to kind of carve your own pathway, I guess, when it comes to sports at the university. But we also have other things that if you're interested in, so we have, if you're interested in things like musical theatre, if you're interested in music, if you're interested in literacy, so reading, there's a lot of different options for you to get involved in whilst at the university. And then kind of casting the net out wider of the campus, I guess, in the town centre, I've also already talked about the football club next door. There's opportunities to go and watch the football club. But there's a lot of sports clubs in Wrexham. We've got basketball teams in Wrexham that actually aren't the university basketball team, but they train at our facilities. There's running clubs, there's athletics, there's things like that. So there is a wide range of things that you can get involved in.
Yeah, it depends on their individual interest, but they have the opportunity to get involved. Yeah, we're getting the similar questions from here. Okay, I'm not student. I just wanted to know how many study gaps accepted from HSC to undergrad and undergrad to bachelor, masters. Study
Yeah,
gap.
so from kind of high school to undergrad, you're usually looking at about 3 years. After that, you're looking at about 10 years. But when I say that, that's very much a guide. It's not you will be automatically rejected. If you are someone who's got a great career, you're looking to further your career, you've been working for 10 years and then you want to go and develop and get a master's, then we would still be definitely looking to accept you at the university. We just use that as a rough guide because that's what the UKVI kind of starts to look at and starts to scrutinize a little bit more. But definitely, if your new qualification you're applying for makes sense with regards to your career and it's going to give you a good level of progression, then we definitely would still welcome an application from yourselves.
Exactly. Pre-session. Yes, they have mentioned only the pre-session and English. I think pre-masters. Some have the pre-masters program already mentioned in the presentation, and they have the foundation as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Foundation. Chemistry. So we have heard this the application.
Moment in time. Yeah. At this moment in time, we yeah. So at this moment in time, we don't have be developed in the next sort of couple of months. So we hope to have that launched relatively soon.
Yeah. So one is the question directly in our Facebook page. How long does it take to get a class after meeting all the conditions? That's right.
So usually, obviously, if you've met all the conditions and provided all of your CAS documents, it can be relatively quick. Obviously, you go into our CAS Shield system. That's where you can record your credibility interview. You don't need to wait for us to set that credibility interview up or anything like that. So we can do all of that for you. Once you've done all that, honestly, you're looking at about 5 working days, really.
Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel again asked, what is the refund policy if the visa is refused?
Of course. So 99% of the times you will get a refund. The only time that we ever withhold a refund is if you've done something to contribute to the refusal in the sense of providing fraudulent documents or something like that. Any other time, we understand that visa applications can be subjective when it comes to who's dealing with your visa application. It's not necessarily as straightforward as everyone thinks. So yeah, as long as you've not done anything fraudulent, we will be able to provide you with a refund. That's fine.
Yes, so we are getting the similar type of questions and not taking it. This platform we have had. It's an application process. No, there is no application fee and any fee for any UK universities. What scholarship discount? It's already mentioned. You will get 3,000 scholarship. How does Wrexham help this as the implementation? Could you share some example of successful alumni or employer partnership?
Yeah, really good question. So we have a number of different alumni that we kind of highlight across our social media pages. We have, sorry, my camera's just turned off.
I think your video somehow gets stopped.
Yep, sorry, just bear with me. I'll try and get it back. There we go.
Yeah.
So we have a number of different alumni across kind of industry that, have been to Wrexham and are working in industry. And we highlight these students on our social media pages. We have students that have done our advanced placement, kind of module, and they've actually gone back to those companies and are working in industry. We have Stephen, he did kind of big data analytics, and he now is working kind of contracting, basically overhauling companies' data analysis and how they look at data and how they use data. So, we have a number of students in those situations. We've just had a student, one of our nursing students, that was kind of awarded Student of the Year and is going to go into kind of that industry as well now to kind of carry on his journey. So we have a lot of different success stories at the university.
Yes, thank you very much. So we're getting the questions are more of the similar. We're not taking any more questions. And also, I think you said you have another meeting in next 1 hour. So if I can summarize the overall scenario of the Wrexham, so you have the courses in foundation, you have course in the pre-masters, the extended masters, the pre-masters I said, and
Correct,
undergrad and postgraduate. And the general criteria is IELTS 6.5 and no less than 5.5. Also for the same for post graduation as well. And they have accepted some other English language. You have to check, and you can contact us as well. No problem. Yes, they have accepted some. I think medium of instruction from different countries.
Correct.
MY. Is there any criteria that is someone has to pay the full amount of tuition fees when they apply with the medium of instruction for their first year tuition fees?
So yeah, so it wouldn't be based on medium of instruction with regards to how much of the tuition fees they have to pay.
Yeah. And we also saw so many facilities in the Wrexham, and they mentioned most of their international students, and most of them is from India, 85%, and also the other part of the world student. They're studying in the Wrexham. And we also saw some good industry links, company like Airbus, BBC, Toyota, and so many other companies, and also have some alumni association and so many things go there. So if you have any queries, you can ask us through our in the social media. This live will be recorded in our website, also in our social media pages. You can access anytime. You can see the live, and those questions is already answered, and you can contact us through us as well, no problem. And still you have any query, you can ask university directly, no problem. They will have that facilities to asking them as well. You can get them through the website and also through us. And September intake deadline is still not declared. I think the application is still open, right, Dan?
Correct, yes. So applications are going to close on the 31st of July at this moment in time.
Okay, so still you have good time, at least 23 days run we have. So first apply for your September intake and get back from the university as quick as possible. So thank you very much, Dan. Thank you for joining today and some informations. Yeah, and hope to see you again in any other live. And also audiences, Zahid not unable to join today as well. From next Monday, we hope he will join regularly, as he was back in Bangladesh for traveling with rebranding or relocating our Banani office and other stuff. Yeah, so then thank you once again. Hope to see you soon again. And yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for attending.
Yeah. Bye.